Alright, so right now just putting some glue on the parts here to hold it into place and letting it to dry, but I was focusing on this and I began to sand down the part a bit. Sand this down, make it a little bit more conformed, a little bit more even. I was trying to also cut some edges here that you could see, so it's a lot easier for me to work with if I have to put some parts over it. Just smoothing it out, and then as you can see, I already cut this part here to the length where I think it should be. Not 100% sure if that's good, but I am going to put something like a cap. I have to think of something because I don't want this to pop out. Not that it's going to pop out, considering that it's nice and tight, but it's better be safe than sorry. During the course of me cleaning all this, I was looking at all my leftover parts, and as a matter of fact, I put it to the side here. There it is. I took a moment to take all the leftover parts that came with the kit, as you can see right here. And there's a lot more which I need to flesh out. I'm going to be also cannibalizing some parts from another model kit, from another master grade, and maybe a high grade, who knows. Because obviously it doesn't have to be master grade parts, I could use high grade parts. But in the midst of me doing this, I came across one part in particular. This is of course the foot of the Kamars Trooper, and I did not want it to see go to waste, even though we're not using it as a foot. But I thought, what if I put it on this? So I began, positioning it, fleshing it out, and then I saw it right then and there on what to do. So what I did was, I cut a notch there on this side and on this side. It's not 100% perfect on the other side, but the front part is better. And since there's how it bends there, I apply it down to here, and it falls down into place like so, like that. So I kind of left it like that for now, and then reviewing it again, I said, alright, that's fine, but what about all this that's in here? Remember, the foot had many parts, and this is the front part of the foot, which I began to smooth down and sand this down a bit. And if I apply it right here, boom, it looks like that. So after discovering this, and I was like really stoked of how it came out, I began figuring out, okay, I got that done. What about the rear part? Well, I'm going to show you an example right now of one part that I just did. Here's the other leg, and I was making this little custom part here when I was trying to merge this with another part. Didn't look well, but it had a great design, as you can see there. And then I said to myself, why don't I just squeeze it in there? And I had to do is sand down the edges, so that way it fits snugly in there. And then I could turn it like that with no problem. I just had to figure out what to put on the sides here to cover up that gap hole right there. Something that will go into place. And I was looking around, okay, so what do I got? And then I came across this part, of course, and I said, oh great, I'm gonna gut this off and put that there. Then I paused and said to myself, wait a minute. What if I cut the inside of these first? Which of course was going to be a necessity to cut them off. And put that here. This came out a lot better than that. Yee. I was deeply surprised of how well that came out, and I said to him, and since I have another one, this one seems a lot more manageable than this. This is great as a technical thing, but I would have to put more work on this. But this one not only covers up the whole damage of you know, the part, but it gives it a more definition and more streamlined look in the back of the leg. I think this came out great. What do you guys think? I'm assuming you guys may be liking it, hating it, giving me the nice thumbs down, but I think this came out pretty good. Yeah! And of course the whole thing falls down. Anyway, that is what I wanted to show you guys. What do you guys think of that? So, I did a little bit of a change up recently. I showed off a part where I had that little vent thing in the back, but I decided to go with this, which seems a lot more neater. Just don't know if I should keep it. I think I'm going to keep it this way. I was originally going to put the hole up here, but right now it's there, and it's perfect. It's actually holding in properly. I glued these two together so it's nice and tight, so it'll hold it in properly. I haven't glued these on yet. Right now it's being held by friction to hold the holes, and I'm going to leave it that way. So because there are certain parts that I'm going to have to separate for me to paint, so this will allow me to do so. I haven't thought of what to put over here to cover it up, but considering that the back waist part is going to cover up the whole thing, you're not going to be able to see it. But as you can see there, that came out really nice. I even put some stuff down here from using leftover parts from the EZSR and put that there, so that looks good. Yeah, that came out pretty good. The hind legs is done in a way. A little thing here and there, but no big deal. I decided to now move on, you know, broaden a little bit, you know, here and there, and up front I put these two parts here, so it gives a little bit more detail. I sanded down and put this there, and I'm going to see what else I can put around it to hide the damage. I'm going to sand this down first, but I was trying to figure out what I'm going to do with the knee, and this is so empty, so, you know, blah. Oops, stay right there. And I was looking at a part which was originally for the back leg. Now I've decided to do the front leg, and it was a choice between, well, actually let me show you. It's this part here where I was either going to put it right there or right there. The problem is this is well designed and is strong, and for me to cut this off so I can put it there didn't look right. So I had to make a choice. I said, what am I going to do there? So I've decided, let me show you. It hasn't been glued, of course, but I cut this into the length of this, so it looks like that. I think that's a more appropriate look to this. Then I'm going to see what I can do for the leg. I haven't done nothing from the bottom part yet, but I have some ideas for this. I have to find the other part. I don't know where I placed it, because then I'm, you know, cutting this, sanding it down nice and even, and once it's done, then I'm gonna glue it on. Now back here, I've decided to do something with the back skirt, and using the thrusters that I got a while back at HobbyLink, which I thought I had the manual nearby, but no. I've moved a lot of stuff around here because, you know, it's a massive clutter. It's ridiculous. I can imagine all you other guys building your GBWC kits as well, and you have a big mess as well. Well, anyway, this is what I did with the back skirt. I put in these 3 thrusters here. They can, you know, these can turn around, and I didn't glue them on, so I can take them out so I can paint it. But it looks like that. And then under it, I put the square version of this. I covered up this because, you're not barely gonna see it in a way. I haven't painted it yet, but eventually this will, you know, this whole thing will be painted. I haven't glued it on yet, so I want to keep it there for now. So if I put this there, this actually serves as a dual purpose. One, to hide the legs, but you know, depending on how it's designed. Let me see how I can do this. But the other part is, of course, it keeps the two legs in line like that. So it acts as a stopper, you could say. It doesn't squinch in there. I'm eventually thinking of gluing this whole thing like that, but I'm not 100% sure yet. Yeah, this is the one thing that I'm a bit concerned, because even though, you know, I just realized that by putting this here, I stopped the whole thing. Okay, looks like I'm gonna have to start sanding that down. Didn't foresee that, but it's no big deal, because I still need to figure out the top part. And speaking of the top part, haven't been working a lot on it, other than this. The back skirt, I cut it a bit so it fits nice and snug up here as a top part armor. I have a part that will go here to cover up this damage, so that will be fine. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, I'm going to be using some parts from the rebake, like the hand and the bicep armor. And I don't know if I mentioned that this didn't work, so that's understandable. Now, the piece de resistance. I'm going to show you something. I took apart the head, and I took pictures to show it off, and I wish I could have done this live or something like that, but things didn't, you know, sometimes you have things that are way beyond your control, and you don't have time to start recording and all that stuff, so I made this. It's in reverse. Actually, let's see. There we go. I removed the yellow, and I cut this part off from there. I sanded the whole thing down so this can fit into this. I had a little notch there so I can guide it in so it's nice and even and in the position that I want. I cut this part from this part here that was in the front. I flipped it in the back, sanded it down, glued it onto there, and glued the two side V-fins right there. So it's in reverse. Very good. And you're noticing something else that's on this. You guys are probably saying, wait a minute, is that what I think it is? Well, yes it is. And I did put an LED light. But not the LED light that you guys saw from, not this one, which was the Haiku light. I tried to squeeze this in here, but the positioning of the eyes, the positioning of the polycap and the connector was way off. It made it very difficult for me to put this on. Let me just put this on so you guys can see this. Alright. Now let's position this so you guys can see it. And these LED lights were pre-cut type lights that were already, I didn't have to worry about soldering onto a wire. They're already pre-soldered. They're probably for railroad dioramas. But here is what the eyes would look like. It's a bitch to do this, so give me a second here. Come on. Here we go. There we go. Nice. I have to figure out how I'm going to put the battery. I'm thinking of doing the magnet idea that many people told me, so I have to flesh that out. And I also have to figure out where I'm going to do the wiring. The wiring is definitely going to go behind that area, so whether the battery pack will be on one of the shoulders, I don't know. On the backpack area, I don't know. That I have to flesh out. Maybe create my own battery pack. But that's pretty much the gist of it all. Now, it is a bit of a gap there, so you see the light all the way back there. You don't see the light up front. Like if I do this, you don't see it. And even though it's strong, it's not strong enough. It's a shame that the yellow parts for the eyes did not come in clear. But I'm going to see if I have any clear parts where I can sand, mold, and slide it in there, and acts as a way to funnel the lights through. I found I found this clear part, but I think this is the shape of it, and it's not going to be good. I do have clear frames, so let me see how that works. But yeah, it's a lot of work, guys. A lot of work. I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. We still have a lot of time, a lot of work. This will be a quick video to show you guys. I hope you enjoy it. We'll continue with the work of my GBWC build for 2017.